Hello, learning birds. This is Mr. Buffington, and this is our creative writing lesson on writing a chapter outline. Once you have the plot outlined and the character outlines done, then what I usually do when I'm doing some kind of writing is I do a chapter outline. It's a specific outline of what will happen in each chapter of your book. For short stories, it might not be as many. For a longer novel, full-length novel, you're going to have quite a few chapters in there. I usually have 2 to 3 sentences per chapter just to give an idea. Now, when I do this, I usually make adjustments to both the plot outline and the chapter outline as things start to develop and the characters start to, you know, go through the process of the story. So, in our previous lesson, we made this story. Jim is a teenager in Chicago who likes to play baseball. He's sucked into a wormhole, warped into a land with dragons and elves. He learns that the dragons are trying to kill all the elves in a big battle. The climax of the story would be the big battle. Jim and the elves can now live in peace after the big battle, and then Jim decides to go home to his family. So this is the plot outline, the entire story. Again, this was from lesson number 1 in making a plot outline for a book. So we're going to pretend that this is our story and take a look at what we might have in our chapter summaries. So let's start with chapter 1. Chapter 1 is our exposition. We're starting things off. So we want to introduce our character Jim, try and show that he likes baseball and stuff like that. So maybe in a baseball game, Jim hits a double. He steals third and is able to slide home for a dramatic victory. We meet his friends on the team. Maybe he sees a girl he likes in the stands, or she can be on the team too. Something like that. So this would be a very general chapter summary. From this, you would flesh out all the characters when you're actually writing. But we have this just so that I know where I'm going in chapter 1. Let's look at another one. After we do chapter 1, maybe chapter 2. Jim walks home with a girl he likes. They go their separate ways. He is looking forward to a great baseball season and his possible future relationship. He notices a shiny object on the ground, thinking it's a coin. He reaches to pick it up, and he gets sucked into a wormhole. I was just kind of writing different ideas. Obviously, you could have a different way of him getting sucked into a wormhole, but you want to have a basic idea. So this would be our chapter summary for chapter 2. Notice it's about 3 sentences long. It tells 3 major things that are going to happen. This could easily be fleshed out into a 7 to 10 page chapter pretty easily with all of the different things that happen. You don't want to have a sentence that describes only one thing, like Jim says hi to the girl, because you can't flesh that out into 7 pages or however long your chapters might be. This one here, you could definitely flesh out each major event happening. It's not as specific as it could be, so it lends the author to being creative while you're actually making the story happen. Here's another example, chapter 3. We continue on. Jim finds himself in a new place. That could be a whole chapter of itself, just describing the place. But I'm saying in this chapter, he meets an elf friend in the new world. The friend shows him around. They need to duck and hide from a dragon swooping overhead, and Jim feels like he wants to go home. So here are, again, some basic ideas that would help to flesh out into a larger, several page long chapter that would be doing what our plot diagram said. Introducing the new world, showing that elves are nice, showing that dragons are dangerous, trying to set the stage for that future rising action as it happens in the book. So those are just 3 examples of chapter summaries. Those are the types of chapter summaries I would have in my books as I write them. And they would go along with the plot summary that we talked about earlier. Some notes about chapter summaries. 1, keep them flexible and open to change. As time goes on, you may add an entire chapter in. You might reorder chapters. You might change some things that happen. Maybe you want him to be sucked into a wormhole in a different way. Maybe through a picture in his house, or through walking through a door, or going through a tunnel on his way to wherever. So you want to keep them flexible so that you can change the plot as you need to. Keep them up to date. So if you do make a change in the story and it affects the outline, change it in the outline as well so that you can keep up with what you need to do. And that way, again, when you start kind of getting into the flow of writing, you don't have to stop to go back and fix things. And use them to estimate the length of the book. This is the final point I'm going to make about chapter summaries. You just want to know how long your book is going to be. If it's for an assignment, know what the teacher is asking. Know what's expected for the assignment so that you can plan it out. If it's a short story, it'll usually be less than 7,500 words. So after you've written a couple chapters, you can see how many words will be in each chapter, and you can use that to estimate the length of your book. Novelettes are between 75 and 17,500 words. A novella or a novella is going to be between 75 or 17,500 and 40,000 words, and then a novel is somewhere over 40,000 words. Most young adult novels that are submitted to publishers are between 70 and 100,000 words. Hope that lesson's been helpful for you, Learning Birds. Have a great day.